Here's to the finest crew in Starfleet.
When it comes to my crew, you won't get any argument from me.
This is a parody. Paramount owns the sun.
Welcome to The Greatest Generation. It's a Star Trek podcast by a couple of guys who are a little bit embarrassed to have a Star Trek podcast. I'm Ben Harrison.
I'm Adam Pranica. That was a somber Adam Pranica on my end. Because it's the end.
This is the end. This is it.
How do you feel about the ends of things generally? I think there's a version of our show, maybe in the Mirror universe, where like it's the end of the show we do.
Yeah.
And yet many people view the ends of things as the beginnings of another in a very positive way.
I've been getting like flashbacks to like pre-wedding jitters lately a bunch.
Huh.
And I think it might just be situational, but I like totally felt like nervous about getting on mic today.
Wow.
In a like, oh man, like this is like kind of big.
That's interesting you say that.
Most recently I had it because I threw a big surprise party for my wife for her 40th birthday. And it was a great success. She did not suspect a thing. She was totally surprised. Everybody had a great time.
You surprised her with barbecue? The barbecue only goes in one direction in your house.
Exactly, yeah. She goes to a barbecue restaurant and orders like a light salad. Mm-hmm. And I just go, oh. She is like the most fun person in the world to surprise with something.
Yeah.
Because she is so delighted by a pleasant surprise. And a lot of people at the party were like, man, I can't believe that worked. And what I said to my mother-in-law was, I'm not the cheating type, but I feel like I have potential after this experience because the whole day I had to keep it cool, but also lie my fucking face off about everything because I was like trying to stay cool, you know, not tip my hand at all. And it felt a little bit like before you get married, like I have a lot of big emotions and I'm not sure, like this is a fucking huge life moment but you can't like telegraph that to your partner and make them like worried that you're scared to do it or like reluctant in any way, you know?
I wish I had the chance to spend any time with that Benjamin R. Harrison, the one trying to be cool. What a day.
I fucking nailed it, man.
Yeah.
You were on vacation with your wife, or you probably would have been there.
I probably would have gone if we were in town. I can tell you that.
Our babysitter showed up a little early and she was like, oh, like go for a drink a little bit ahead of when everybody else is getting there. Cause like she was expecting just her family, not everybody she knows, minus you and your wife.
Yeah. Again, I just want to say I probably would have gone to this if we were in town. Like pretty sure.
I absolutely sold that I put on a couple of bad outfits by accident and I needed to change and put on other things.
That's a believable alibi. I think most people who know you would buy that.
but her, like, she should have suspected because I usually nail it in one.
Oh.
You know?
That's fun.
Yeah. I had jitters for this, too. Any nerves on your part, or are you just sanguine about the end?
I don't know if I've ever told you this, and we've been doing this for a long time. I always feel something adjacent to the nerves I have before doing a live show. Like I always feel a little bit, I don't know if it's nervous, but like energized for the performance, as if what we're doing is live. I mean, it is to the folks watching the live stream, but like,
yeah,
the stakes aren't the same. I don't have to feel nervous about talking to one of my best friends about a thing that we both love to make fun of. This is easy shit. What do I have to feel nervous about? But like I'm saying, it's not nervous. It's more like getting yourself up for the show, you know?
Yeah.
That's what the FoDs deserve. Two energized hosts ready to give it their all because it's not the end, Ben. It's a new beginning after this for us.
Here's to the next generation.
They deserve hosts apprehensive enough to make the right decision.
Yeah.
And that is our topic today as we review Season 4, Episode 22, the series finale of Star Trek Enterprise. These are the Voyages.
Really like that pivot, Ben, for so many reasons.
Got free speech and guitars.
Our cold open makes it seem as though there has been kind of a long time jump between the last episode and this one. The crew are discussing what their big plans are after their 10-year mission is over. And a lot of them are wearing their hair differently. The one thing I noticed right away was T'Pol was wearing a name tag. That's fun.
Yeah. That is the way the uniforms have evolved in the 10 years. Like Starfleet, I feel like swaps out uniforms every like 3.5 to 7 years.
Yeah.
Typically. But this time, all they did was a little embroidery.
Some people choose to wear more, and we encourage that, okay?
Why hasn't any Star Trek show subsequently gone back to the name tag on the uniform? That would be so fucking cool to get like Ghostbusters style Venkman, like big name tag patches on their chests.
And like their blood type right under it.
Yeah, I would love that.
Fucking rugged shit. They also have changed the bridge a little bit. It's got that column of computer screens that we saw on the USS Columbia.
Do they call it the Columbia on Enterprise?
Right.
I think they all get that reference, don't they?
Of course. Not conveniently placed. Like Reed comes in and like boops some buttons on one of the monitors and then turns to the other side of the column and boops some others that he has to reach like all the way up for.
I think it's interesting how asymmetrically it's placed in its location. There was a music venue in Seattle called the Crocodile that was famous for like a lot of great bands coming through when they were small enough to play it. But one of its claims to fame was like a post, a load-bearing post in the middle of the dance floor. And it was like right in the middle where people would be trying to watch a musical performance. And like people just sort of accepted it because it was part of what you dealt with when you went there, in the same way that folks on the Enterprise just sort of accept that this isn't a really bad spot and it doesn't need to be there.
Is the Crocodile the place that we kind of first hung out? I feel like it might be. Like there wasn't a show there, but like we went to a bar one time and it was like the first time I can remember hanging out with you. And I think it may have been the Crocodile.
The bar at the Crocodile. Yeah. It might have been.
Yeah.
That was one of the great bars. That's not there anymore.
Well, RSVP. Everybody's like talking about what are you going to do next? And Archer's working on a big speech for the signing ceremony for this Federation charter that we heard so much about in the Terra Prime episodes. And that is also coinciding with the decommissioning of the Entrepreneur. It's going to become mothballed. They're not going to scuttle it, right? So that the Germans can't use it.
Yeah, the plan is they're going to sink it in the ocean and create a reef. I think you're right to bring up the tone of this moment. Like, it's very business as usual. First things first. Let's get this speech dealt with, and then we'll deal with the decommissioning ideas later. But, like, Star Trek, for many years, has confronted this moment for its crews and its ships fairly directly, right? There is a sadness that hangs in these scenes, and it's embodied by the crew in those moments. Not this moment, not this crew.
Yeah, they're like more optimistic, I guess. And I feel like if you're founding the Federation and it's looking like it's actually going to happen, like that would be kind of the vibe. Even if you're graduating from high school, like you have a bright future to look forward to, unlike us.
And I think that adds the lightness to the moment. It's like people are making plans. Their lives go on. And it's strange how, I think for all of the seasons of this show, the hero ship is less of a character than any ship in previous series. Like, the crew appears to not love it the same way as other crews have loved their ships.
Well, we thought that this was a jump forward in time 6 or so years. We had no idea how far of a jump forward in time this was, because the camera tracks around and finds an ensign that was sitting off in the corner, sort of anonymously. And they turn around, and it is Riker William T.
I hope I show some promise.
How many times did you watch this cold open to like try to catch him in the corner of the frame, like doing his business? I think they used a double. Like, I just don't feel like that guy with the brown hair in the corner of the frame is Jonathan Frakes.
I actually, I got some behind the scenes info about this. Actually, that's Seth MacFarlane.
Oh,
Until he turns around, it's Seth MacFarlane.
Amazing. You think this series finale's bad? I'm never gonna end my shows. I am so glad to be with William Riker again. And the specific bit of nostalgia that hit me incredibly hard upon seeing him again was that fucking walk, that Harrison Ford style walk that he's got.
Yeah.
The like so self-aware about himself walk. It's hilarious in the best way. I love it.
Man, I wish I remembered who it was, but there's some like famous quote from an acting coach about like, you didn't have the part as soon as you walked across the stage because, you know, like there's something about the riz of the walk of a truly gifted performer.
This scene is also representative of a quality the rest of the episode has, which is we stick with the D as long as possible. Like, we do not need to follow this character through the arch into the corridor of the Enterprise D, but every opportunity there is to do that, we do it in this episode.
Indeed. Save program and quit.
And we're on the D after the theme song, and Riker's log tells us that he's going through this holoprogram on Counselor Troy's advice, and in 10 Forward, we see Riker sweating this visit from Admiral Pressman, the Admiral Pressman from the Pegasus episode of TNG.
It's good to see you, sir.
Yeah, sure it is. You look like you're about to faint.
About Admiral Pressman, Riker is pressed.
More like Admiral Stressed Man.
Yeah, indeed.
As in, like, that's what's going on with Riker, you know?
If we change the words, then it's fair use all day long.
My understanding based on this moment is that this is a retcon and that like if you watch that episode of TNG, Riker is like when he's not on screen, he's like bugging out to the holodeck to go like work through his feelings about the situation with the Pegasus.
I don't want to be pedantic because they are the worst types of commenter. But when you say retcon, I just associate a negative connotation with that.
Oh, no, I mean...
Even though, like, definitionally that would be true, I almost feel like it's, like, additional continuity. Like, this supports the story in retroactively. And now that I say all these words out loud, I think what I'm coming around to is that retcon is probably an accurate description of what we're doing here.
I would love to see... Well, maybe not love, but I would be curious to see an edit of the 2 episodes unfolding as though it is just one big long episode of Star Trek The Next Generation.
Someone has done that, I'm sure. That exists.
That's got to be on BitTorrent or something. But I do feel like they really delight in the set recreation stuff that they did in this episode.
I read that they recreated every set, like from scratch, except for the conference room, which existed as the Enterprise E conference room that they then like reskinned back into the Enterprise D conference room. But everything else was built for this purpose.
So somebody had to come in and sweep up all the broken glass and busted ships. No!
Yeah, pretty wild. You might remember the Pegasus episode was about that ship where that terrible accident happened, having to do with the cloaking device and the mutiny and the scandal that came out of it. And Riker's doing this research using the holo program about Enterprise so that he can learn what it might be like to go against orders.
12 years ago, I needed an officer that I could count on in a crisis. Someone who would support and obey my decisions without question. Someone who was willing to trust my judgment. And that someone was Will Riker.
It's looming over him because he doesn't really know how to deal with the fact that his loyalty to Captain Picard is in conflict with the oath that he swore not to share details of the Pegasus. It's very funny that there is like one shot of the back of Captain Picard in this episode, the establishing shot that they use from that episode Picard is there talking to somebody, but then we punch into the corner of 10 forward, and it's just Troy and Riker talking about how nervous he is to talk to Picard about this.
He's right behind me, isn't he?
It's kind of amazing how legendary the 10 forward set is from the Enterprise D. In that dopamine hit that you get when you see it after so long. Like, the same thing happened in the first episode of the Picard series. Like, to make it the very first interior that you get, just takes you right home again. Everybody's home on that ship is that part.
Troy makes a recommendation that I wish more English teachers had made when I was in like middle school and high school, which is like, skip to chapter 17. That's where it really starts to get good. That's where it starts cooking. When the Andorian hails, that's the good stuff.
I am going through a little bit of that conflict right now. I'm reading my first fiction book in like forever and ever, like many years, maybe like 10 years. I've been an old man for a very long time where I only read biographies and historical nonfiction and shit. But I'm reading Project Hail Mary, and it's like a brand new experience reading for me.
I really enjoyed that book, but like there's definitely like a getting up and running phase of that novel.
And that's where I'm at. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry, it gets pretty bracing.
Troy is not there to tell me to flip forward a couple of chapters.
Yeah, I think I couldn't tell you which chapters to skip.
I'm not going to skip.
I'm sure the movie will just skip the boring stuff, right?
Yeah, as they do. I love how Troy is like, fast forward the program to the good part. And by the good part, I mean the Shran parts.
In the simulation, we learn that Shran has been dead for 3 years.
RSVP Shran.
And yet he's calling?
I mean, this has got to be a spam call. This can't be him.
This is what I tell my parents all the time. There are thousands of hours of my voice on the internet. It would be very easy to train a large language model. If I ever call asking for money, we've got to exchange passwords, like in a Jason Bourne movie where like they're on the phone with the CIA station chief and they're like, you got to code in. And there's like the answer for under duress and the answer for everything is okay.
It's such a great point because we've seen ship pretending to be other ship on this very show, in this very season.
It's recent.
But you rarely get the FaceTime call on Star Trek that goes through two-factor authentication ever.
You're Shran? Prove it.
Identify for retina scan.
I mean, his antenna has grown back, the one that was chopped off. Like, he doesn't look like the guy we remember last time we saw him.
Should have cut off my head.
I considered it.
I wish it had grown back bad,
Like the broken pinky that comes back with a weird curve once it's healed.
Yeah. Or like you can tell when a lizard has grown a new tail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there's an obvious spot at which like, oh, this is where the new tail starts.
What is surprising is that Shran is alive. What shouldn't be surprising is that he believes Archer owes him a favor.
He faked his own death in the days after his time in the military, I guess. And they're like, well, Shran, like, we're a little bit busy. Like, Archer has not completed his speech. And it's in 3 days.
This isn't a good time, Shran. I assume you know where we're heading.
And the place that he is to give this speech is where they are headed. So a diversion, kind of an issue at this point. That's when Shran explains that I have a great reason for this. It's that my daughter has been kidnapped. A daughter that I had with Jamel. You remember her? The electricity you saw between us in that episode? Oh yeah, that turned into something, baby. It turned into a baby, baby.
You should see what a little bit of friction does to an ice desk.
Yeah, it made my hair stand up on end. You know what it sounds like fucking on an ice desk? Like those old-timey ice cube trays being twisted.
So Archer talks to Shran a little bit more about this in the clarinet rental closet. And Shran is acknowledging that, mistakes were made, many by him, including entering civilian life. But he's got some jilted former business associates that took his daughter. And if he does not return what's theirs, she's dead.
In these two sequences back to back, there's a real, fuck or cuck setting on the holodeck. In one, Riker wears the uniform and is sort of anonymously doing his duties to both please that booty and like be at a bridge station. In the other, he's in the clarinet rental closet sitting in the corner on a chair watching.
I like to watch.
You like to, watch?
Yes.
It's like a light switch.
When he's in fuck mode and he's sitting at a bridge station, is it like press triangle to scan for life forms kind of situation?
I really wonder. I really wonder what you get to do.
Yeah. And he like walks through the door like it's not even there.
Yeah.
So that he can see what went down in this conversation. And Shran is like, I didn't even steal the thing that they want. Like, I don't have it. I don't have anything. I put it all on the line to find where they took her.
Do you believe Shran? Because I feel like the truthiness of this is never 100% certain. And I almost kind of believe that Shran did steal this thing.
But we don't know.
The case he's making is like, look, I'm innocent, obviously, but we got to get my daughter back. And it's only going to cost you 7 crew people. Can you spare 7 for this mission?
Fun will now commence.
And going to Rigel 10? A place, by the way, I know so much about. This mission's going to be easy.
I won't cease or desist, 'cause we really think it's fair use.
T'Pol does not like this plan. She is talking to Archer about it later and arguing for why the hell are we going on a side quest when, you know, like the like door you go through at the end of the game where it like warns you like if you press X you cannot return to the open world is right in front of us.
I mean, it helps that it's T'Pol describing Shran this way because T'Pol has a lot of credibility with her opinions, but also like it's objectively true that Shran is kind of a squirrely guy that you aren't really sure where you stand with, you know?
Yeah.
And also, we can't be late for the conference. Like, maybe that should be the headline. Like, diversion bad. We're on a timeline here.
All that being said, Archer pushes a narrative that loyalty and friendship are the theme of the conference.
He tries to do that galaxy brain thing with T'Pol that I think really impresses Archer as he's doing it. He's like, look, is my relationship with Shran not a micro example of what that is? And isn't the preservation of that alliance just something that we gotta do? Like, if I can't do it on this level, we'll never be able to do it on like a galactic level, right? You get me, T'Pol? Are you writing this down? I feel like this should be a paper.
This is pretty good, right? Maybe I should put this in the speech. It's kind of like a trust fractal, like it's the same no matter what scale.
I feel like Archer does his best thinking when he's like absent-mindedly like fiddling with the thing, like like a stress ball, or like in this scene, the polo ball, Ben. And you know what that means.
Oh.
Anytime we see a depiction of water polo on Star Trek Enterprise, it's time to play the hit game show within a podcast called Polo. Polo?
Come on.
Or Boyo.
I told you. Best sport in the world. 1 part basketball, 1 part swimming, 1 part wrestling. I didn't know it was such a rough game.
Our contestant today is Benjamin R. Harrison from Oakland, California. Benjamin, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Ben, today's game is the last of its kind ever, as it is in the series finale of Star Trek Enterprise. And for that reason, this game will have 3 multiple choice questions related to the ends of things. 1 question each about horse polo, water polo, and a chicken recipe.
Okay.
Benjamin, are you ready?
Okay, I feel ready. Ready as I'll ever be.
Question 1. What do professional polo players check on their horse's hindquarters right before the final chukker? A. The tail is braided in their team colors for the closing ceremony. B. The muscle temperature to prevent cramping in the home stretch. Or C. For any saddle marks that could disqualify them at match end. Your answer, Ben.
I just read a book where one of the characters is a polo player, and I don't remember anything about this. But I like that disqualification at match end issue. that you might be concerned about if you were a polo player. So
Yeah.
let me go with that marks on the hindquarters issue.
Wrong!
Fuck! Oh!
Ben, the muscle temperature to prevent cramping in the home stretch of the final chukker. So crucial to the very end of a horse polo match.
You know, I learned in this book that polo is a game invented to make horses accustomed to the chaos of being a part of a military cavalry. Like a horse that can be trained to do polo can also like go into battle, and it's also a good way to train your officers in their horsemanship. But I don't feel like if you're like about to do a cavalry charge, you check your horse's temperature.
I don't know. Kind of a lot is depending on that.
I guess so.
I just might.
Yeah.
Question 2. What happens during the final 30 seconds of a tied Olympic water polo match? A. Players must tread water with their backs to the goal. B. The referee blows the whistle 3 times instead of once to signal the end. Or C. Both goalies switch ends of the pool for sudden death overtime.
I like that sudden death thing. That sounds fun.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Correct!
Yeah!
The goalies do switch ends of the pool for the sudden death overtime. I thought it was interesting. They don't wait until the end. At 30 seconds from the end, let's go ahead and get it ready for overtime. Amazing.
I wonder why, like, those pools are almost always indoors. It's not like the sun's gonna be in your eyes on one side or the other.
As the host of Polo or Boyo, I have not done any further research. Here's the third question, Ben.
Okay.
In traditional Peruvian pollo a la brasa, what part is considered the prize at the end of the meal? A. The Pope's nose is saved for the guest of honor, which is the fatty tailpiece. B. The last crispy bits from the bottom of the roasting pan are mixed with rice. Or C. The backbone is cracked open to reveal the chef's jewel, a perfectly roasted oyster. Your answer, Ben.
I do love that oyster. I'm wondering if the Pope's nose is good enough on a chicken relative to a turkey, which has a much bigger Pope's nose.
Big nose on that turkey.
My grandpa loved that Pope's nose.
This is not a game of pollo. Pollo or turkey? However.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I'm gonna go with the Pope's nose. It's my final answer.
Ben, you have won.
Yeah! Woo!
2 correct answers, 1 incorrect answer, making you the winner of the final game of Polo or Boyo.
I didn't know it was such a rough game.
I believe that this makes me world champion of the game. Forever.
You're the only player of the game. And you had a great final round. Congratulations.
I gotta get one of those world champion hats.
Speaking of food, in the Galley, Riker is playing the part of the chef who insists on making T'Pol's favorite flavor of plomeek broth. Evidently, you can kind of customize it based on root vegetable and herb varietal and so forth.
Everybody's supposed to go down to talk to Chef about what their favorite dish is so that he can make it for their final meal aboard. And instead of seeing who the chef has been the entire time, we've been told that the chef is much like the counselor aboard since everybody confides in the chef. Riker has inhabited that character.
Yeah, this is not cuck mode. This is fuck mode.
This is fuck mode.
What's your name? Tell me you love jazz.
And he's talking to T'Pol and lets on that he's aware about the rendezvous they've made with a certain Andorian and would like to kind of pump her for more information and would just like to pump her, probably.
A lot of surprises in this scene. I think T'Pol surprises herself with how easy she finds the chef to talk to and how interested the chef is in her personal life.
She talks about how she and Trip haven't done the deed in a long, long time, many, many years. That's been on hold since it was on hold in the show.
Doesn't it seem as though a couple of these points could be emphasized with different shapes of vegetables and like maybe some oysters or like turning up the flame and down of the flame during the conversation? We could be more on the nose, right?
Cutting a papaya in half and showing the insides.
For some reason, having a papaya and then like putting it on top of a citrus juicer and like ramming it and twisting it on there.
Rubbing butter all over a chicken that you're preparing for a preparation of pollo a la brasa.
Exactly. Because there's been a lot of talk of like burners and whether they're on the back burner or the front burner as a relationship, right?
Indeed. And T'Pol has learned a lot from her human crewmates about following your instincts and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's something that's going to be useful for her, but it's also very helpful to Riker. Look deep in yourself, and in there you might know what the right choice is.
Legally, it's just a fart joke. You will never take the greatest gin alive. Ben would rather die.
What?
Riker chooses this moment to freeze the program and kiss her on the side of the head. I didn't love this moment. I didn't feel skeeved out by it because it felt there was no romance in it whatsoever. It was like oh, thank you, smooch.
Yeah, I could kiss you for that answer.
Exactly.
Kind of. I appreciate what you just said to me.
Yeah.
And also, you are a program and not real.
Yeah, we've seen awful depictions of the way holodeck characters have been used, notably by Barclay. This isn't that.
No way.
Geordi also a little bit.
Right.
I'm guilty of a terrible crime, Doctor.
But people that are long dead, that feels like fair game. If any historical figure was available for you to fuck in a perfect simulation, would you and who?
I need to ask about the parameters of this question.
Okay.
Is it definitionally not the person actually and instead a hologram?
It's a hologram.
Would anyone know about it?
Not unless your crewmates came into the program the way they did in that one Barclay episode.
Okay,
You know,
so
like,
this is about whether or not I could live with it.
You have to be pretty sure you locked the holodeck door.
I mean, I'd have to. You can't make that mistake.
No.
I've made it too many times.
But say you're at Quark's and, you know, like you have set aside a few hours in the holo suite for privacy, and it's like that's like one of the guarantees of the house. Nobody's coming up there.
I love my wife, Ben.
Correct.
I have no fantasies about significant historical figures.
Adam, you have won the game.
Yeah!
Polo or porno.
Woo!
So Riker's in the observation lounge looking through the crew manifest of the USS Pegasus. Couple of fun Easter eggs in there. Ron Moore, who wrote that episode, is the commander on the ship.
We're definitely making a polo or porno shirt, right?
Yeah, we love shit that doesn't sell. That's like one of the main kinds of things at podshop.biz.
Podshop.biz?
Hey, a lot of things might be changing for this show. That's staying the same. All right?
RSVP the 71 crew members who died in the USS Pegasus disaster.
I thought it's weird that the slideshow that Riker's going through has like wasted every time he advances the slide to a new picture.
Bill Wallace. Hell of a handball player.
Wow, like the computer's kind of hardcore about that.
At some point, they took killed in action out of circulation as a term of art and replaced it with wasted. As anyone who has survived a horrible disaster would reasonably feel, Riker has a lot of emotions about guilt and responsibility and why me kind of haunting him as he considers the choice that he's going to make.
Fucking Troy in this scene is just like peak friend on the periphery, like involved to a certain extent, but not too much. Cause he's like, yeah, I'm really having a hard time connecting with this program you suggested. I mean, you've clearly run it and you understand what I'm going through, right? And Troy's like, what? Of course not. When would I have the time for that? Oh, also, I'm actually also too busy for whatever this conversation is.
I have an appointment in an hour.
I'll get you back in plenty of time. Come on.
You write every character as though they're the main character of the story, or they think that they're the main character of their own story.
Right.
Troy does not think she's the main character. We are back to Star Trek basics with the way we are writing Counselor Troy.
But Riker drags her into the story and insists that she comes with him. And so to the clarinet rental closet they go. It's a very dangerous place for future people, especially tall future people like Will Riker.
I know this ship like the back of my hand.
This is looking at the Enterprise as a museum piece that she described in the previous scene of like, maybe I went there when I was a kid. Who can tell? All those old ships look so similar. And they're charmed by the bridge and the captain's seat.
Oh, comfy.
No seat for the first officer?
Then we go to engineering with Reed and Trip. And Trip might be the one person in this cast who really does seem to have an affectionate personal relationship with the ship.
It's true.
He is doing some bit of engine maintenance that you do every 6 months. And Reed is like, why? Like, the ship is being decommissioned in days. What are you thinking?
Yeah, you don't take your car to get an oil change before you trade it in at a dealer, you know? It's a waste.
But Trip loves this old lady, you know? And he's sad to see her go.
At the end of this scene, Troy gives something away about Trip's fate, that he's not going to survive this mission that's on deck, a mission that Reed is kind of nervous about, but Trip is like very confident that Archer would never put anyone in harm's way this close to the end.
Why? Why would you do it?
Yeah.
And I've got faith of the far heart. Legally, it's just a fart joke.
Shran talks to Archer and T'Pol in the next scene through his plan to get his daughter Tala back from the baddies. One of the key elements we learn is the Tenebian amethyst. All he had was like a grainy JPEG of it, and T'Pol had to recreate it based on that. And she sort of talks out both sides of her mouth. She's both like, that picture was all we had to go on, and that picture wasn't very good. But if anyone scans this down to the micrometer level, it will be indistinguishable from authentic.
It's kind of unfortunate about the timeline of this mission, because if they had only been able to go back home first and visit San Francisco, there would have been so many crystal shops to peruse in order to get something that would work for their purposes.
They wouldn't have had to go to all this trouble.
Yeah.
Troy shows herself out. She's like, I got to go talk to Barclay. He's probably in crisis.
Do you believe her? Because I feel like Barclay is a great get out of conversation free card. If you're a medical professional, like, oh, I'm getting word that there's a thing with Barclay. You understand? I shouldn't need to say anything else, right?
You're kind of the head of the crew on the ship. You know what I'm talking about.
Poor broccoli.
Yeah. Yeah, that leaves Riker on his own to observe things on the bridge 16 hours later when they arrive at Rigel 10.
I loved the passage of time edit within the holodeck program, because I think we're like looking over to Paul's shoulder on a wide shot of the set, and like the crew just like change positions, but also like everything on her screen changes because she's got like different readouts for the different situation. And Trip steps to Archer as they're preparing to go on this mission. He's like, man, you cannot go on this one. This is undue risk at this point. You've got to make this speech. We're already going out of our way to do this side mission that we do not need to do and shouldn't be doing. You can't be there, potentially getting killed.
There's almost a self-awareness that Archer has about this being the final episode in that kind of like one last mission before retirement that a police detective has, you know, before the end, that gets him killed. He's like, what's everyone acting so weird about?
It's always either a police detective or a jewel thief.
Yeah.
And in this, he's kind of both.
Yeah. He's like, dude, I'm fine for the last time. Like, chill the fuck out. And also, everyone else chill out. It'll be okay.
This was the first time I spotted a wide shot of Shran in the episode, and he's wearing kind of like a Rasputin robe.
I love it.
His garment is awesome.
It looks like absolute hell to take a bathroom break if you're him.
Oh, yeah. And to do a raid on Rigel 10, also probably not the best garment to be wearing.
Not the best garment to be wearing, not the best conversation to be having, is how I would describe what goes on in this shuttle down to the surface, which is absolutely packed, by the way. Packed with a Mayweather at the controls, and then Riker and Reed and Trip and T'Pol and a random Mako. And T'Pol's back there in a space the size of an elevator, going deep with Trip Tucker. Do you love this shit? Are you high right now? Do you ever get nervous? Are you single? Do you ever miss me? What are all these questions, T'Pol?
I knew what I was getting into. She's a bitter, unstable person. I mean, the sex was good.
At one point in the flight, they're together. At another point, they're broken up, and T'Pol is talking to the guy next to her, who somehow becomes named Vegetable Lasagna.
Hey, you believe in this?
Excuse me, I was sleeping.
Then they get back together, and then they wind up having to share a cab with him back into the city. It's horrible.
Back and forth they go until finally they end on T'Pol admitting to knowing deeply that she will miss him, even though he's made promises about them keeping in touch. The energy she has is like, do not have a cool summer me in my yearbook. Like, everyone gets have a cool summer, but not me. I don't want that. I want plans.
It was really sad to me, the idea that it's even on the table that they would never see each other again.
Exactly. Yeah.
I can't believe we broke up like that.
It was stupid.
Don't we live in a future where there's no reason why we couldn't see each other again all the time?
The way I saw it, I thought the cool summer I'd be having would be mostly with you before my next assignment.
Maybe we could make it a hot summer. I don't know.
I got myself a new swimsuit. It's just got the normal board shorts, but I got a bikini top on both of my forearms.
You're never going to let that go, are you?
Got to cover these puppies up.
Riker is dressed as a Mako for this one, so we know that they are expecting a little action. And on Rigel 10, T'Pol and Shran are the ones that go to meet the bad boys that have abducted his daughter. And there's like a lead guy who looks like he's got like a tire tread running up the middle of his face.
He's got real Robert Loggia voice, I thought.
He does.
Great voice.
I thought you were happily married. Who's the Vulcan?
Very scary dude.
Yeah.
And he is taunting and threatening, and there are lots of guns out and lots of anger. But T'Pol is like, this case has the amethyst in it, and you will never get it open without me.
I wish there was a way to turn Genesis, yes, Genesis, into amethyst. Yes, amethyst. There's no way to do that, though.
Yeah, I don't know. There might be, but I don't know if it's ethical, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's the problem.
Yeah, yeah.
All of these hostage exchange scenes make me crazy because there's never a way to be 100% sure. It's always like, I'll put the money in your hand, you put the disc in my hand, and we'll like let go at the same moment.
Yeah.
It felt insane that they opened the amethyst case before the daughter was out of there and safe. And
yeah.
Shran is told that he has to stay. T'Pol can take the girl, get her something to eat, but they want to keep Shran, and they like pick up this rock to scan it and make sure that it is an authentic amethyst. And it's not. It's a very flashy light. actually.
It's triggered to Darude Sandstorm, and the party goes off. Triggered by the Dustbuster Club up in the rafters. Holy moly, this drop is incredible.
This is why you go to a trance show, you know?
Yeah. It's a real flashbang grenade effect that we get here.
I've had like real bright lights flashed in my eyes. Kind of an inevitability if you've ever been on a film set that you will get beamed in the face accidentally.
Also, new Star Trek would never do this without like a 1 minute warning frame before the episode starts. Like, this is kind of a lot to take.
It really upsets these guys. They're very cranky.
You know what you should do, Ben? You should record a content warning ahead of this episode saying we're going to talk about a scene of flashing lights. I think that would be appropriate.
If you have sympathetic epilepsy and hearing about a flashing light would upset you.
Which is a real thing, by the way. All right?
It's not fictional.
It's real.
But also, like, content warning, we're going to talk about a content warning with flashing lights, and if that would trigger your sympathetic epilepsy.
It's sympathetic sympathy all the way down, Ben.
It's good faith to believe I can do parody.
It is a really crazy fight. Most of the bad guys are shot in the course of this, but Trip falls through some scaffolding and you're like, oh man, this is going to be it. We know he's about to die, but no, Archer is able to grab him and pull him up.
Is Jim Kirk the only example of a scaffold-related fatality in all of Star Trek?
It's sort of like raising the jersey up into the rafters. They can't do it again. You know? Like that's Kirk's.
Yeah. Hey, Trip, no. Leave it.
It sort of made me wonder if Riker is playing the game too well. You know, like he diverged from historical accuracy because his ability to shoot bad guys was too good.
I love that take. I also love a fight scene where there's a bunch of different colored laser weapons being fired. I don't feel like we get that too often.
No, it's good.
3 different kinds here.
So both shuttle crews make it back unscathed to the shuttle bay, and the daughter is there, and they're talking about what's next. And Archer's like, hey, we've got a really fast ship. We'll get you out of here safe. And Shran's like, no, you don't have to worry about that. My shuttle's faster than their pieces of shit. But I guess he's like convinced because he stays aboard. I wasn't really clear on like why they were having this conversation, other than to establish that they believe that the bad guys have bad ships that can't catch them.
Right. And also to say a beloved character's name for the first time halfway through the series' final episode. Like, are we gonna see Dr. Phlox in this one? Oh yeah, like you better take your daughter to go see him, like for a checkup, right? She was briefly a hostage.
I was excited to see him, but no, we cut away to something I'm potentially even more excited to see, which is a beautiful rendering of the D flying through that asteroid field.
Feels like home.
Data radios up to Troy about wanting to talk about his positronic net, and she's like, nah, dude, that sounds really boring.
Can I give you a rain check?
How often would you screen Data's calls? I feel like all the time is my answer. You're not going to hurt his feelings.
As I recall, the Pegasus was a pretty late season episode. It might have even been season 7.
We could probably look that up.
Was Data still not understanding any idiom that you used around him?
Season 7, episode 12.
Right up against the end, and he's still not understanding rain check.
Yeah.
But Riker comes in after she hangs up, and Pegasus is going to be, we're going to find it real soon. He brings up the Treaty of Algernon and how it made use of cloaks illegal for the Federation. And he confides in Troy that the Pegasus was a secret prototype testing platform for a Federation cloaking device. And the accident was in testing the device. This was when I realized that we were in a specific TNG episode and not just generally simulating this from the vantage point of TNG.
This is confirmation of that for sure. I mean, Pressman, I remembered a little bit and then looked up as soon as he was name checked, and I was like, oh yeah, now I remember where we're at. Exactly.
Yeah.
The trouble with Pressman is that he outranks everyone. And so for Riker to get out of line a little bit and challenge what's about to happen here is a career-limiting move for, I think, not just him. I think he feels like it would be for everyone involved.
He can trust Troy with this information, and he knows that, but he does double-check. She's like, maybe go back to the program, dude.
Again, this is a program that Troy has not seen herself. So she's suggesting a course of action that she's kind of unfamiliar with. Cool.
He's like, I need some like pretty intensive therapy to unpack a massive career trauma I endured when I was a junior officer. She's like, oof, I'm looking at my day planner and I am pretty booked up for the next couple of weeks. So I would advise you to go talk to ChatGPT.
I need something to do on this ship, Commander.
Fair enough.
Cut over to the galley on the NX Enterprise, and Riker's, they're rolling out some dough with Reed, and he's spilling his guts to him as they roll. Big feelings about Trip Tucker are the topic here. And Hoshi, Mayweather, and Dr. Phlox are cut in very elegantly in this sequence. We do that thing where like the camera swishes, like pans to a character, back to Riker, and then it pans back over again and the character is changed.
This is often a technique used in an interrogation sequence, and this isn't quite that, but I really liked the use of that to propel the narrative and to get lots of points of view. And I liked Phlox's perspective on Trip.
I mean, he sure is close to him, given what he's telling Riker in this scene, like the exact date that T'Pol and Trip smashed for the first time. Okay.
If you're not going to break HIPAA with the ship's chef, who are you going to break HIPAA with?
There's no HIPAA as it relates to tea, right? This is just gossip. Hot gossip.
No, they're not gonna sue, they got no case, 'cause parody indemnifies.
We cut over to the captain's mess after this, and we get the captain's bottle in between Trip and Archer. This bottle once belonged to Zephram Cochrane. Hey, I'm surprised there was any liquor left in it, Ben.
Are you like refilling it up? You're like marrying bottles over and over again to get that topped up?
I zoomed in, because you can do that. If you're watching on a computer, you can zoom in on the label.
Enhance. Stop.
On Zephram Cochrane's bottle, you know what it was called? You know how like everything cool right now has an ampersand in the middle? Like it's blank, ampersand, blank.
Sure.
This whiskey is called Women and Money.
That's Zephram Cochrane. That's his vision.
How could I possibly have not known that?
What a brand.
Oh, man. Big day's coming up. Archer is not ready. He always, aces the test by cramming the night before.
Yeah.
And Trip just cannot believe that about him, even after 20 years of friendship.
Hey, Captain, you know what I haven't been doing for many years? Cramming with T'Pol. Up top. Up top in a very sad way. I'm lonely, Captain.
It's like up top for the turn of phrase, not so much for the situation.
Actually, could I take this bottle with me?
Banger. Intruder alert. And it is the dudes that they just shot up on Rigel 10. I guess they were just set to stun when they were fighting sick, child-abducting criminals.
They walk right out into the corridor and are confronted by these guys. And it is a scary scene. I think the scene is so scary because of how frenetic Trip Tucker is acting. He is absolutely going nuts, trying to defend Archer's life and explain... Like, he's talking over Archer in order to explain where Shran is in a way that felt, I don't want to say out of character, because this is a character, like, in the middle of a chaotic situation, but I was very surprised at what I was seeing from him.
Connor Trenier puts so much mustard on this performance.
Yeah.
The mustard of desperation, because he is terrified that something will happen to Archer and make him not able to induct this new era into existence.
Ben, I went to Costco yesterday and got a hot dog for the first time in a long time. I chose the mustard of desperation on that visit because it was just yellow. There was not deli.
Yeah. I had Canter's the other day. Really solid mustard at that place.
Yeah?
A lot of different options on the table. And the deli, so good.
You familiar with Coleman's mustard?
Yeah.
I like that mustard a lot.
It's good mustard.
Hot.
Yeah.
Spicy.
Yeah. It's got a little kick.
When were you at Cantor's? Why didn't you give me a buzz? That's just around the corner.
You were in Hawaii.
Yeah, if I was here, I probably would have gone.
Trip will bring these guys to Shran over Archer's protestations.
Over Archer's not dead body, but kind of looks that way after being rifle butted to the head.
Trip is also mad about this. He's like, I will not help you if I even catch a whiff of you wanting to kill him.
Yeah.
But I will help you. And so after some discussion, they like agree to do it his way. And he's like, all right, like no sudden moves. I'm opening this panel so that I can bypass security.
Robert Loggia alien is like, hey, what are those things on your forearm? Now that we're in better light, I
have so many questions. He's going to plug a thing into another thing, and they're like suspicious of both panels that he opens. And what they should have been suspicious of was the explodey components that he blows them sky high with. This is a big, scary-looking explosion, and it doesn't just get Robert Loggia alien and his buddies. It gets Trip as well.
It really feels visually coded like the Back to the Future scene where Doc finally connects the cables to send the car back in time.
You know what it is? It's a perfect combination of the scene where Doc connects the cables to get the car back in time and the scene where Marty plugs into Doc's super amp with his guitar and gets blown backwards. It's both of those things in one thing.
It is. This boom is loud enough to wake Archer in the corridor, and when he goes to check on Trip, he does not like what he sees, and neither does Dr. Phlox when he's taken to sickbay. His lungs are fried, and he uses what little air he has to go really Benjamin R. Harrison on this scene, and for some reason apologize to Archer for what happened.
Sorry about the rifle butt.
Phlox is like, he's thermalized his lungs and his body is also covered in chili sauce. And the reveal that he dies in this moment is really nice. Like I there's that moment where T'Pol is like folding up the uniform, but then she smells it. And I was like, that's it. Like you never smell clothes that aren't yours unless the person is dead.
Oh, I smell my wife's clothes all the time.
All right. That's a little bit too TMI.
The moment that got me the most, I think, was that Trip Tucker smiles as he was shoveled into his coffin.
Yeah.
You know, in that chamber in sickbay. Like that, for that to be the last time you see his face, that kind of bravery, like the bravery of a wry smile before death, I thought was like, man, what a great character. And as much as I wish he didn't die this episode, what a great way to go out.
The next scene is the funeral where Archer is sharing some remarks, and he says, of all the souls I've met in my travels, his arms had the most nipples.
Do you think it was open torpedo casket, but like maybe the arms are up and out on the rim?
He looks so lifelike.
Wait, why is Trip Tucker displayed as like a crucified Jesus Christ pose? His arm nipples just laid wide for all to see?
He died to cleanse the world of its nipple sins.
Ben, your fantasy description of a eulogy and a funeral, not anything we're close to receiving this episode whatsoever.
No, instead we start talking about T'Pol's mom and how much she misses her, and Archer talking about two simplistic platitudes that aren't totally compatible.
Yeah, I mean, look, try to see the bright side of all bad situations. Sure. Archer being all like, hey, we're in the space business, babe. There's always another planet around the corner. Seems a little bit dismissive when talking about specifically his best friend and her primary love interest. Like, this is not the time to hear there's always another train coming, you know?
Trip would have wanted Archer to give his speech, and Trip would have thought this was worth it.
And boy, does he take that literally. He takes that as, you don't have to think about Trip anymore for the rest of this episode. And in fact, neither does anyone.
Except for Riker, because Trip visits him making hush puppies, and this is like Riker rewinding the program to before they picked up Shran.
Thank God they do this.
They talk about trust and what trust means to Trip Tucker, and he talks about it meaning somebody that always has your back, is always there for you, never hurts you. Like, you got an Imzadi like that, Riker?
Yeah. One or two.
Chef Riker's got that.
I thought this was an interesting description because, you know, like a lot has been made about Trip's relationship to Archer professionally and personally. I wasn't quite sure which he was referring to in this scene because, like, as a commander to subordinate relationship, that's kind of part of the job, is being ordered into danger and possibly being hurt as a result, you know?
Yeah.
He doesn't get to have it both ways. But here's the thing. The thing that I really love about this scene is that this final moment between Trip and Riker represents two of the most charismatic characters in Star Trek history having a very charismatic moment together. Like, they're so fucking cool. They're just great. They would be best friends if they got to spend more time together.
Whatever you do after Enterprise, Chef, I'm sure you'll make the right choice. And that puts a little pep in Riker's step.
Hey, Chef, just a little word of advice. Put on some gloves.
A lot of cross-contamination going on in this kitchen.
And in fact, gloves that go up to the elbow, if possible.
I'll stick to making pizza.
We cut to the ceremony that Archer's been preparing for this whole time. Reed, Hoshi, and Mayweather got stuck up in the rafters. Terrible seats for them.
Complaining about their seats instead of talking about their friend who died today.
Reed is the one that is like particularly pissed off about the seats too. Like,
it's almost as if no one told them that Trip had died. And I'm kind of willing to believe that given how they're acting in this scene. Like, there should be an empty seat for Trip. And they're like, I wonder where Trip is. He hates these things.
Yeah.
That's kind of an elegant way to forgive the tone of this, I thought.
They talk about what will be next for Archer. Rumors are flying. Is he going to be an admiral? Nah, he would never get behind a desk. He wants one of those Warp 7 beauties.
Well, you know, for me, the action is the juice.
But who's going to work in the engine room?
Hard to know.
In the green room, T'Pol is doing that thing that women always do in shows where they fix the guy's tie, except for Archer's not wearing a tie, so I guess she's just like zipping up his his mock turtleneck.
Two great kinds of sidekicks here in the green room. The tie straightener and the hype man. And the hype man is Dr. Phlox.
Phlox is like, man, you should be so proud. This is you. You did this.
Hey, are you feeling nervous? Watch me do this. And he like sticks a thumb in his mouth and like blows up his face.
And it breaks the tension. It just like, you know.
Archer like claps in front of his face. Yay!
Again. Modesty, humility, you don't need those.
Nah.
That's what T'Pol says.
Yeah.
Knock him dead out there. He walks up the ramp and, oh my God! Archer is coming down the ramp! And he's got a steel folding chair!
What a moment.
Didn't see that coming. knocks out Soval, I guess, probably.
Yeah, definitely Soval. Yeah.
And we cut to Riker and Troy, like, looking down on all this from the nosebleed section where the Enterprise crew are. And this is a very historic moment, one that you learn about as a kid in their time. And Riker tells her, like, okay, I'm ready. I can go talk to Picard. And they end the program, walk slowly to the holodeck. We wrap up on what starts with Picard's Star Trek Lord's Prayer, and then it intercuts with Kirk's and then Archer's, and we see all three of their ships in sequence. The last shot is the ship going off toward a big, bright nebula.
Where the dry dock lives, I guess. where they scrap starships. Like what they do is they like set an XO1 on impulse, like no one's aboard, and it just sort of like beaches itself in the nebula.
If you zoom in on that nebula, like it looks like gas from this distance, but if you zoom in, that's all just components and debris from busted apart ships.
Yeah.
Did you like this episode of Star Trek Enterprise, Adam?
I can't pay. Couldn't fillet. Got no case. Tempting fate.
Ben, I don't think this is a bad episode of Star Trek, but I don't think it is a particularly good series finale. And what I read is that that's not what it was trying to be. Like, it was trying to be a vanity finale for the Berman and Braga era of Star Trek, which means that what it was actually was a 17-year series finale.
Wow.
And when I look at it from that perspective, I get what they were trying to do. And it's funny, like, a lot of people hate this episode. They think it's a terrible ending for a series because of how much time it spends with next generation characters and with how many like references to like all good things ending and the next generation and so forth.
Sure.
It gets a lot of attention outside of itself in a way that a lot of Enterprise fans didn't like. But then I read that like Berman and Braga came out later and was like, yeah, we're sorry. This sucked. This wasn't a good send-off. We shouldn't have made it about us. We should have made it about Enterprise. And I guess Scott Bakula got into a huge fight with them at the end about his feelings, about how it all went down. These are other people's feelings about this show and not necessarily my own, which I think are just a little more positive. Like, and also like inextricably attached to how I feel about Enterprise. And like, tune in for the next episode because we're going to do a wrap-up episode about the entire series. But like, man, the Enterprise D and Riker specifically are like such favorites of all of Star Trek that like their additive qualities are so strong that like they would never be unwelcome in any Star Trek episode I'm watching. So is it unfortunate that we don't get a lot of Dr. Phlox in this episode? Yeah. Am I sad that Trip died? Absolutely. Do I think his send-off was like pretty cool and kind of cowboy? I did kind of like the way Trip went out. I didn't like that he did, but the way he did I thought was cool. I like luxuriating with the D a little bit in that way. It's flawed. It truly is. But I don't hate it, especially when I was so ready to. Like, the discourse around this episode is just deeply, deeply negative, and I couldn't be that negative about it personally. What about you?
I felt really similarly. You know, I was watching this for the first time to talk about it on the show, and it's so notorious. It is so talked about as catastrophically bad. And I think that there is just, like, that's an effect of internet discourse. Like, that is where I have seen this take. I have not had, like, personal conversations with people that are as stridently against it. And the way the internet works is like the most extreme takes are the ones that get amplified and reshared. So that was what I was preparing myself for, just an absolute train wreck of an episode. And I think you're absolutely right. It is a good episode of Star Trek, but a bad finale. It's almost like they're a little bit embarrassed about the show that they are ending. and they kind of want to jangly keys you to thinking about a different, better show that they had a lot less to do with.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with all that said, it wound up making me feel especially excited to return to TNG, because what else do you want to do after seeing the D rendered like that, and those hallways and that holodeck and that observation lounge than go there? Like, I'm excited to go there, but yeah, I'm a little sad that my characters didn't get their due in this last episode, which if it had happened in the middle of the season, I think I would have thought was great.
Well, for one last time, let's check the Priority 1 message inbox.
Priority 1 message from Starfleet coming in on secured channel.
Need a supplemental income.
Supplemental income?
Supplemental.
Supplemental.
Yeah, it's extra.
The interest alone could be enough to buy this ship.
We have a personal Priority 1 message here, Adam. It is from Ethan Storing and Stasia, the Star Trek dog. And it's to Ben and Adam. It goes like this. In March of 25, I started watching every episode of Old Trek. It's been a long road getting from there to here, especially January of 2026. But I've finally caught up to Greatest Gen and can soon move on to New Trek, Greatest Trek, and no more Picard spoilers. Thanks for the laughs, the bonus episodes, and the dick jokes. Maggie O'Callaghan drop. Ethan out.
Would you like to hold my hand? Would you like to kiss me?
Oh, good morning, boys. The spirits have turned her into a cow.
I'm not quite myself today.
Oh?
What kind of a girl do you think I am?
Bitch, I'm a cargo move.
I was walking around town with nothing but a bell around my neck. Everyone was staring at me.
Good drop, Ethan. I love that one. What a delight.
Thanks for catching up with us. That is a really serious binge to start. We're recording this in March of 2026, so you watched a lot of hours of Star Trek.
Yeah, that's 600-ish episodes in a year.
Amazing.
619 episodes. Good job, Ethan. Thanks for sticking with us. Ben, our next Priority 1 message is of a personal nature. It's from number 1, and it's to Dad. Here's how that goes. I wish you were around to bond over this dick and fart podcast. Rewatching made me remember Wednesday nights watching Voyager and PJs. You would have liked TGG DS9. I wish you lived to meet our 4-year-old Shimoda, who thinks Archer is the real captain, since she wasn't born when B&A did TNG. We love you and miss you still.
Man, we miss you, Dad.
Yeah, how about that? Thinking about 10 years, it's easy to just focus on like the work and the friends we made along the way. But we lost some people along the way too. And that's worth remembering and recognizing also.
I love the mindset you're using in thinking about your dad. All of the things that you loved about your dad. And that is such a, when you're dealing with loss, that is that feels like the right way to orient your thoughts, but not always the easy way to orient your thoughts. So I really love that message.
Yeah, good stuff.
Our last P1 is from Dr. Clark, and it is to Matt James. Happy birthday, Merry Christmas, and Easter. Congratulations on your anniversary with Rachel and the birth and subsequent birthdays of Laura and Hallie. Please replay this message at every subsequent event, because you're impossible to buy a gift for. You piece of shit.
You piece of shit.
God damn it, Matt James. Can you get a Vice or something? Get really into Legos or start a collection?
Yeah.
Would it kill you to be just any chicken tchotchke? Just get me a chicken,
Yeah. Maybe you're really into owls. Little ceramic figurines.
I've got friends like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you always know what to get them.
What's galling is that my friend that is hardest to buy gifts for is also one of the best gift givers I know.
Yeah, brutal.
I hate that motherfucker.
That's how they get you. Well, you really get us. Through Priority 1 messages, they're a great way to support what we do around here. GreatestTrek.com is where you can put pen to paper.
Mm-hmm.
That's a metaphor. What I'm talking about is clacking your keys on your keyboard, writing a message out to a friend or a loved one, or a description of a business idea or a hobby. We do the rest. You get the greatest gen bump. And everyone's happy, right?
And we might talk you into getting really into owls. So,
yeah.
It's got lots and lots of benefits. We really appreciate it.
Thanks.
Hey, Adam.
What?
Did you find yourself a drunk Shimoda?
Incredible.
Drunk Shimoda!
Yeah, there's only one opportunity to do this. Did you notice in the wide shot in the stadium at the very end, Dr. Star Trek was sitting in the stands?
I did not clock Dr. Star Trek.
Our buddy Larry Nemecek is in the stands and conspicuous. Once I found him with my eyes, I couldn't take my eyes off of him. He's so much fun to hang out with at Star Trek Las Vegas. There's no other opportunity to make him the drunk Shimoda on an episode of ours, but I'm going to take that opportunity here to give him that. What a dude. What a moment for him. He got to be on the show.
I have no choice but to join you. We know what he's drunk on.
Yeah.
Larry Nemecek, Dr. Star Trek. We raise a rum and diet to you.
It's kind of too bad his drink isn't rum and Dr. Pepper because of the doctor stuff. Yeah, that's too on the nose for him. He'd never.
He wouldn't.
Yeah. Rum and diet.
Would he? Maybe he would. Maybe we can talk him into jumping the tracks a little bit.
How about rum and diet Dr. Pepper?
Yeah.
I'd get him that drink.
They make a diet Dr. Pepper. It tastes more like regular Dr. Pepper.
I've heard.
Faith of the fart.
Well, thank you for joining us on the long road. And thank you for all of the friends of DeSoto who have supported us on this long road. If you would like to double check that your support is still good, maybe head to greatesttrek.com, follow the links there. We really appreciate it. Thank you to Wendy Pretty, our producer and editor. Thank you to Bill Tilley, the card daddy, making hilarious Star Trek trading cards at all the @GreatestTrek social media accounts, which are run by Rob Adler, who is also the editor-in-chief of the Greatest newsletter. And a new dad. He needs your support.
Yeah, he sure does. What a team we've got. A team that would never hurt us, right?
Best team in podcasting. I say it all the time.
I think so, too.
Because it's true.
Yeah.
Got to thank Adam Ragusia, who made the original parody of Diane Warren's theme song.
What a moment it had.
It really did. Got to thank Dark Materia for the original card song. Let's encourage people to check out the wiki. greatestgen.wikia.com, I believe, will get you there. A pretty exhaustive catalog of 10 years of bullshit. And we really appreciate the folks that maintain that, keep track of all the drunk Shimodas and everything. Really cool.
This is a really significant moment in our show's history, and I just want to thank you, Ben, for being such a great partner through all of it. I want to thank all the friends of DeSoto who've been with us up until now and who I know will be with us for the greatest generation, the next generation. I'm seeing this end as a bright new beginning. I'm excited for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And with that, we'll be back at you next week with the wrap-up of Star Trek Enterprise, an episode of the Greatest Generation Enterprise that is a far, far better thing I do than I have ever done before, a far better resting place that I go to than I have ever known.
Sweet.
Make it so. Make it so.
Maximum Fun,
a worker-owned network
of artist-owned shows,
supported directly by you.